new E.L.F. Halo Glow Beauty Wand. These are gonna become the new standard of wands in the industry. Juicy, pillow-topped, cushioned flock. I'm not surprised, I don't think anyone was, but I'm really excited for two particular reasons. All I've done so far is evaluate them on my arms. There are 3 contour shades. I know I'm gonna be in the middle shade. There are 3 blush shades. Basically, I'm gonna be all of the blush shades, but for today's purposes, I'm gonna go with this shade, which is Magic Hour. For the highlighter, I'm gonna grab the Champagne because I wanna create kind of a unique style.
So how do you know which one to choose?
If you're at Ulta, which is where these are gonna be exclusively for a minute, think about your skin tone. Your skin tone is gonna be indicative of how you wanna navigate these beauty wands. This is color accessories for the face, which means we're gonna contour, we're gonna highlight, we're gonna blush. Right now, my base is completely flat, it needs vibrance. Not only are these products gonna offer vibrance, but you can even see in the shade window that the contours do not have the level of shimmer, AKA mica, that the highlight and the blush do. So keep that in mind when making your choice. I'm going with the middle shade because I like to live my best Mediterranean glow all year round, but I could easily use the lighter shade if I wanted to. There are 5 contour shades, FYI. 4 blush options. In this case, I'm gonna go with this shade here, which is called Magic Hour, because it's speaking to me. I wanna try to do more of like a blushed highlight everywhere look. And then again, in terms of the contrast on your skin, I've even seen this darker color on women of color, so you could totally rock these as well. You may want to avoid the lightest color, just depending on your preference. But generally speaking, I'm gonna land in the middle here and go with this Rose Quartz shade to put together a cool look. And I may add this berry sleigh. You can use a brush, you can use a sponge. I like brushes. Sponges are they're easy to blend, but you get less control. My face is bare, it's just foundation powder basically, and a little bit of radiance underneath everything. But the real point is that I'm gonna use these 4 products, 2 blushes, 1 highlighter, 1 contour. I'm gonna dress my face up with and add color to my cheeks, cheekbones, and my contour. So let's start with the contour because that would be the next step I would gradually dive right into. Another thing about these that I really like is that they securely fasten with a twist. Here's a fresh, juicy, pillow-topped, cushioned flock. Let's get ready to evaluate. You want your clavicle and you want to find your cheekbone and you trace that cheekbone. That's a really great way to understand where you want to place your product. You don't want to go too far. I now have just played with this for the first time on skin and I'm blending out and up. And I'm noticing no shimmer, no mica, no patchiness, which is making me really happy. And I'm really able to play with this and manipulate how much color I want. I wouldn't even be too mad to go up a shade, but this is plenty. Now we can add to the rest of the face. Now I know how she performs. I'm already thinking about the laydown. It feels really, really smooth. The pigments feel to me like they're getting, I'm gonna go with a little more product here. Ooh, juicy. The pigments here are laying down in a really, really nice, smooth way. The composition of these style of products is pretty simple, right? These are water and oil emulsions, and what they have inside of them are film formers to make sure that they last for you. Certain types of pigments, of course, to be the marriage of the color. And then we're also gonna get, in this case, squalene. So squalene is gonna give skincare benefits, which in this case we know to be more for hydration, for example. So we don't want this to dry us out, we don't want this to look patchy. We want this to perform for us in a way that it's going to give us the ability to really, really, really build out and chisel and sculpt our face. I think the shade, for me, something I'm really like happy with in terms of the performance here.
Is it drying down fast?
It's drying down. It's really appropriate. It's dry down time. I'm not thinking I need more. I'm not unhappy with anything. I'm gonna be able to draw because this is a bit smaller and really just blend and manipulate exactly what I want. Look how easy I can just blend this into skin and do what I want. The biggest question now is, how is this going to perform for me throughout the day? Is it gonna stay on? Which again, I know just from having taken a peek at the ingredient list, it was designed with plenty of film formers in a way to do just that for us.
So you could really layer this on.
You could do whatever you want. You could build anything you wanna build. For me, to be able to do my whole kind of under neck area and then just kind of play here is pretty fabulous. The blending is not hard at all. This was not a lot of effort to get this finished look here.
Yeah, it looks pretty flawless.
Next, I'm gonna use a different brush. We're gonna go in with, let's try this Berry Radiant color. I've always loved this kind of a deep kind of wine shade. I don't wanna get too much out of the blush because I want a little more control. This already is releasing from the flock differently, and that's likely due to the micas. The micas are always gonna interfere with the pigments in terms of the way that they're gonna spread and lay down. So don't be surprised if you use different colors and you have a different experience with your different colors in terms of how they lay down and spread. So I'm being really careful because it was my first time putting that on, but you could see that this did not, it stays even more jellified. The contour was thinner. This is more viscous, AKA thicker. So start with less and then build. You know, you can use your little cheat smile technique, go up. I want to do a little mini draping moment, but I wanted to really see what I was working with here before I went in and did that. So a color like this is so beautiful that I actually like to use it to blend not only on my cheek, but I would even use it, and you can do this too if you feel more comfortable, on my eyes. So you can go direct application in with the brush. And this is what like a draping moment looks like. And then what we're gonna do is we're going to actually switch up that drape. We're gonna break up the drape, as I like to call it, by using a highlighter in between. So now I really have to blend these out. I'm layering, and you'll see this come together as I just glide this product. So immediately what I'm noticing is that even though this is a little bit different in terms of the texture and the formulation between the contour so far, it's not a problem in terms of how I'm able to work with it and blend it on my skin. I'm not putting too much pressure, but you saw how streaky that was a second ago. And I was able to just really rock and roll and blend it out. The next thing you wanna look for is you're gonna wanna see if it's gonna settle in any of your pores. It's doing that a little bit. I would be shocked if it didn't with this style of a formula. If you wanna add more color, more pigment, more payoff, just build and just concentrate in the area you really wanna see that color. And blend, build and blend. And I feel really like happy at this stage with my little monochromatic moment. I got in here with my eye. I am using a larger brush, right, that you're probably not used to seeing for eye area, but I'm doing this with purpose. I'm doing this with the philosophy of the drape, and I'm gonna break up the drape right here with that highlighter in 2 seconds. Already, I've now put this color on my face. I'm excited in the sense that it broke up that monochrome base. And let's go in with the highlight. You can see I played with her. Same consistency to me, the highlighter, as the evacuation as the blush.
Ooh.
This color is gonna be not as striking as the other ones. I don't want as strong of a contrast. You'll see I'm using different brushes because different brushes have different fibers. And what I wanted to do here was not see like a striking line, but I wanted to break up the drape without it being so crazy obvious. And I'm really loving the way that this highlighter is sitting, even in a way that, again, isn't looking like this streaked line. So let's watch that blend out. It's breaking up the drape, but it's looking really pretty. It has really nice lay down. I'm thinking for sure there's some style of a treatment here to the pigment to get this lay down, our film formers that we already talked about. And if I wanted to really play this up, we can have a little fun here and just go right under the eyes and do this little area. And again, so easy because of the size of this, which makes me really happy. They're usually not as small, which makes it harder to go in and do what you want to do. Grabbing an eyeshadow brush, it's made with synthetic fiber, so I could use it on wet products. And I was able to use this for my eyes. I was able to use this for my cheeks, for my highlighter, and I really can even go in and I can highlight my Cupid's bow. I can do my nose. E.L.F. just really amplified what you can do here. Well, that's the thing about these types of sticks, right? They're gonna give you full-blown radiance.
Nice.
I'm taking Magic Hour and I'm just gonna play and just do a little bit more because I wanna see this color here. These 3 items, the highlighter, the blush, the highlighters and the blushes are more similar. Let's blend this out for a second. Now, some people don't like radiance for their blush. That's okay. These do have a high level of pearl and mica. It will deliver radiance, as will the highlighter. These are very, very similar formulations. I would say they're almost identical. On a whole, this collection, I checked out the ingredient listing. It's using the same emollients. It's using the same active ingredients in the squalene, using varying levels of pigments and micas. And in the case of the contour, you're not getting as much shimmer at all as you're seeing with the highlighter and the blushes, which is interesting. It allows you to really learn how to play with them and kind of know what to do with them and know what to expect, which I kind of like. It has the same film former, which is designed in a way to keep these on your face, which is fantastic, which is what you want. You don't want them spreading everywhere. Let's do a little eyeliner. I'm gonna be right back for the finished look. I think that they're really shockingly user-friendly. And I think that they're even more user-friendly because of the size of the applicator, cushioned applicator. These are gonna become the new standard of wands in the industry.
Them are fighting words.
They are fighting words, but between the size of the wand, between the ease of use, easier to use than anything I put on my face in the wand category, spreadable, blendable, the real question is how will they perform, and I won't really know that until I compare them. Stay tuned for the dupe duel of Halo Glow wands. Okay, E.L.F?